supreme victory!
What's going on, guys? Derek Blackman here, and I got the green screen set up again, but I'm not sweaty as hell, so the lighting should be good. All is well, not going to be delirious, so let's jump right into this garbage. A lot of you probably already know that Scarlett Johansson was set to play a trans person. You know, like that's what actors do. They just play roles. They play whether they're trans, straight, gay, doesn't matter. They're fucking actors. But of course, since it's a trans role, there was a huge backlash. So much so that Scarlett Johansson backed out of the role. Now, most people thought this was BS and couldn't understand why there was so much outrage. Now, of course, I understand, and probably you watching, you understand too. But you know who doesn't understand, and who doesn't care to understand, and who thinks the hate is justified? NowThis. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the same company that brought you videos such as marijuana is racist.
Stop saying marijuana. Why? Because it's racist ass.
Are chiming in to tell you that the hate that Scarlett Johansson has received is totally justified, so take it away.
A cis person has been cast in a trans role again.
Oh no. Oh no.
The latest in this age-old casting trend is Scarlett Johansson, who's reuniting with her Ghost in the Shell director to, once again, erase a marginalized community.
What he's talking about, Scarlett Johansson was cast to play an Asian woman, God forbid. You know, obviously, these people had a huge fucking problem with it, but people that watch anime and fans of Ghost in the Shell didn't give a shit. People of Japan didn't give a shit. I mean, if you actually just watch anime, fuck, most of them look like Western people anyway. Like, they don't look Asian anyway. Obviously, they don't fucking care.
She'll play Dante Tex-Gill, a real-life trans man and massage parlor owner in the movie Rub and Tug. A cis person in a trans role is and always has been a problem.
Oh, please, ambassador of trans roles in Hollywood, please explain to me why it's always been a problem.
Allow me, a trans person and culture critic, to break down why. For one, it deprives trans actors of work.
Oh, but you don't feel bad about taking work away from a woman? You know, because I know a lot of you guys consider women marginalized too, but this is what happens when you have this intersectional aristocracy. You have all these people that are like, oh, you know, yeah, women are oppressed too, but trans people are way more oppressed, so we gotta take care of them first. And so a woman taking a role from a trans person is fucking bad. But I guess they're not really saying a woman, they're just trying to use the excuse it's just cis. That's the problem right there, the fact that you're cis and you're taking work away from a trans person. Well, let me tell you something. They obviously want to make some fucking money from this shit. So they're hiring an A-list actress. How many A-list trans women are there out there? Probably not many. I can't name any off the top of my head. So what the fuck are they gonna do? Get some super hot A-list actress to play this role? Makes sense to me.
Cis actors have far more advantages and access in Hollywood than trans folks do. There's no shortage of unbelievably talented trans actors who never get the chance to play or even audition for trans parts that go directly to more famous cis leads.
What is an A-list celebrity, man? This isn't the Sundance Film Festival. Jesus fuck.
But there's another huge reason cis people shouldn't play trans, especially right now. It has harmful consequences in the real world.
Okay, all right. I'll humor you. Please, listen, I want to hear this.
Where trans and non-binary people don't have the same legal protections and human rights as cis people, and where trans women, especially trans women of color, are murdered at increasing rates, often because of the way media misrepresents them.
I think you're missing the point. Like, nobody's dissing a trans person in this scenario. The only thing that's happening, or that did happen, was a famous actress took a role. That's it. That's fucking it.
When cis people play trans characters, it sends the message that being trans is just a performance.
This really just gives you a glimpse into this person's mindset. That I've never once thought that, oh, a trans person is just a role. What was that? What does that even mean? Everything's a fucking role when it's in Hollywood. What does that even mean? That fucking means nothing.
When Eddie Redmayne and Jared Leto and Jeffrey Tambor play these parts, it tells audiences that trans women are just men in dresses, which of course they're not.
No, it fucking doesn't. It does not. Alright, so I'm gonna use your stupid fucking logic right now. Let's focus on football and movies. Let's focus on Remember the Titans. Now, if we wanted to be accurate and have things properly portrayed and have the jobs occupied by people that actually do the roles. So what we would want is actual football players, people that play football. But no, we got to take it a step further. We got to get people that are actually in high school to do that. You know, because it was about high school football. But no, we got to take it even a step further. We got to get racist white people to play those roles, you know, because there was a segregation stuff and they were supposed to hate the blacks. And then we have to have them legitimately come together. It has to be completely real. You know, like how you want a trans person to play a trans role, it has to be completely real. Or does it? Because it's fucking fiction. It's Hollywood. I can't fucking believe it. Why am I doing this?
A brief look at Hollywood history shows that transmasculine people like me rarely, if ever, get represented on screen. And when we do, it's Hilary Swank and Daniela C. and Scarlett Johansson and Rachel Weisz. They get to portray us.
You want to know why that is, bucko? That's because there isn't that many of you in the world. In the grand scheme of roles, in the grand scheme of things, when you look at how many trans people there actually are in the world or just in the United States alone, very fucking tiny. So, there's not gonna be an extremely massive market. How are you gonna be represented that much when there's not that many of you? Do you see how that fucking works? Y'all don't really fucking pay attention to that shit, right? It's like, say, hey, how come there isn't this many black people? How come there isn't this many Asians? How come this and that? I'm like, have you seen the statistics of how many people exist in the United States? So what you want is just an equal playing field, even though there isn't an equal amount of people. How the fuck does that work? Oh my God, I'm getting so angry and I shouldn't be.
Cis women in those roles suggest trans men are just butch women disguised as men. And that's not true. Cis actors playing us delegitimizes our identity, reduces us to dangerous stereotypes, and fails to capture the nuance and truth of who we are.
That's you, bruh. That's more projection.
Being trans is not an acting exercise, and no longer can it be a cis actor's quick ticket to an award. Sure, an A-lister like Johansson guarantees bigger box office than a lesser-known trans lead.
Stop! There's nothing else to say after this point. That's it. There is absolutely nothing else to say because you just hit the nail on the head. That's it. Big box office draw. This is Hollywood. This is not some indie fucking hipster festival where you can get some unknown actress or actor or whomever and then knock it out of the park and then it'll get rave reviews with everybody sipping their coffee with their fucking thick ass mustaches. This is not what this is. This is Hollywood, big budget, Harvey Weinstein pieces of shit that want money. Scarlett Johansson's ass brings in money. Have you seen her ass? God, I love her fucking ass.
But more audiences seeing an inaccurate parody of who we are is more damaging than doing it right. Plus, who's to say a film with an unknown minority lead won't make it to the Oscars? Just look at Moonlight and A Fantastic Woman.
Of course, there's a possibility that an unknown actor or actress can make it to the Oscars. It's never completely off the table. But you should know, especially if you're into the film industry at all, if you're into Hollywood, if you know how things work, it's all politics. It's all fucking politics. The best person doesn't always get fucking picked, man. Who even cares about the Oscars at this point? Fuck!
If Hollywood starts casting trans actors in all types of roles, trans and cis, leading and supporting, then those actors have a chance to grow and become household names.
So this is what this is about. Now you're saying something that's kind of fucked up, right? Because you were like, hey, I don't like when cis people play trans roles. But now you're saying it's cool for trans people to play cis roles. You're like, hey man, it would be cool one day to get those roles. Now hear me, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care as long as the movie's good. I personally don't give a fuck. I really don't. I promise you I don't. But what I do give a fuck about is you trying to put stipulations on cis people, on straight people, and then giving it like the old rope-a-dope and say, hey, but it's cool if trans people play straight people or cis people. And I'm like, dude, no, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. That's not how this shit works.
To all the cis actors out there like Johansson, now is the time to use your platform to elevate us.
The entitlement. Scarlett Johansson, you gotta use your magically monumental platform to elevate us because we're so tiny and we can't do it ourselves. What kind of bullshit entitlement is that, man? That's one thing that I just cannot stand. That these people don't want to work for themselves. There's a lot of people that probably are watching this that are trans and they're extremely offended, like, fuck you, man. I can make my own platform. Have you seen technology nowadays? You can film entire movies on a fucking phone. And if this shit is good, you can put it on YouTube or wherever. It can get tens of millions of hits, and you can legitimize yourself. You don't need to rely on these people that are like ScarJo. You don't need to, oh, I can't believe I said ScarJo. But seriously, you don't need to rely on these people. It just reminds me of everyone like, oh, hey, you're white, you're a straight white male, and you need to give your platform to marginalized people, people of color, trans, and all this shit. And I'm like, no, man, no. Just work your ass off and make your own fucking platform. Seriously, think about it. Nobody handed me a fucking thing. No one handed me anything. I just started speaking my mind, started hustling, started putting out content, started just trying to improve my craft, just get better, more expensive equipment, and things have been working out. Things are still on the up and up. And I can thank you guys for watching this, but I also thank my own fucking hard work. That's what it comes down to. And I'm not bitching and complaining. I'm not telling anybody to put me on because I'm black and you're fucking white and there's a power difference and you need to elevate me. That's fucking trash, man. And it's the same thing that goes for cis versus trans, and it shouldn't even be cis versus trans. That's a shitty way to even portray it, but that's the way that it's being portrayed in this NowThis video. It's not good. Anthony Fantano, 0 out of 10. Wow, this shit actually got me a little bit heated. I wasn't expecting that. I was actually expecting to have a little bit of fun with this, but this was my first time actually watching it, so it's just, that's the initial reaction. You guys got the initial reaction, so I hope you enjoyed this. And let me know what you guys think about the situation. I'm sure I have a feeling I know what you guys are thinking about this, and if there's people that disagree, and if you have any different talking points than what this person said, please just throw them in the comment section, and I'm actually willing to hear you out, because I don't know, maybe I'm missing some nuance, but I fucking doubt it. But you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I want to give a big shout out to my mega sexy patrons. You guys are the absolute best. If you want to be a patron of mine, you can hit the link in the description, or you can hit the end screen box thingy. That's it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Of course, there's a slim possibility that an unknown actor or actress can make it to the